Hello there and welcome to day 3 of our Lexical Lab 2018 Summer School video diaries. I've had it brought to my attention that yesterday in my video I managed to capture myself swearing at the beginning of a video as I failed to remember what I was going to talk about and then failed to work out how to edit the video technology properly. So I'll try to not use any particularly foul language yesterday, and my apologies to any of you who may have been shocked by hearing me utter such words yesterday. So today I was teaching on the Advanced Language and Culture course, and what we were talking about was a kind of potted history of race and immigration and issues around race and immigration over the last 50 years. So we were talking about the Empire Windrush, the first boat that came over bringing large-scale numbers of immigrants from the Caribbean in 1948. We were talking about the race riots in the 50s, the birth of the Notting Hill Carnival. We were talking about the Rivers of Blood speech by Enoch Powell. We talked about the Stephen Lawrence murder and the failure of the police force to arrest anybody for the murder of a racially motivated murder of a young black man in South London in the early 1990s. We talked about the 7/7 bombings. We talked about the English Defence League. We talked about Tommy Robinson. A whole load of different aspects of, contemporary British life. And it's great where we're studying because we work up on the Holloway Road in one of the most multicultural parts of London. And just watching students come in and out of the university, you see what an incredibly diverse bunch of people actually study there. And one of the things I really love about the summer courses that we get to run is we don't only offer courses, but we offer a whole cultural, social program to go with the courses. And this afternoon, I took my group of advanced language and culture students off to South London. And we had these lovely little moments of serendipity. We'd been talking in the morning about some of the problems that arise when you have a particular discourse or a particular discussion, a kind of toxic discussion, I think, about immigration, and the way that this has somehow legitimized or led to the fact that we have a government who are busy deporting Caribbean people who've been living here for 50 years. Also, we got to Stockwell, where a Brazilian guy, Jean-Charles de Menezes, was shot dead in 2005, 3 weeks after the original 7/7 attacks, in a case of mistaken identity by anti-terror security police. And again, it's sort of evidence of what can happen and the way it can impact upon normal people's lives when you create this kind of hysterical media culture of fear and sort of, madness around terrorism and around immigration. It can have really serious knock-on effects, fatal knock-on effects on people's lives. We then went down to Brixton and we went to the Black Cultural Archive, which is this wonderful space in what's now called Windrush Square. And Windrush Square itself is interesting because there's a statue there of one of the founders of the Tate Sugar Dynasty, who basically made their millions from the sugarcane exports that were provided using cheap labour or slave labour in the Caribbean. Just up from there is a monument to the African and Caribbean soldiers who fought alongside and died alongside white English soldiers in the First and Second World War. And then the lovely little moment of serendipity that we had. As we were going into the Black Cultural Archive, we got talking to 3 elderly Jamaican ladies who'd all been in London since 1961. And they were sharing their stories of the hostility that they faced when they first arrived, the racism that they encountered, and, the changes that they've seen, but the changes that still need to happen. And the lovely thing for me was it resonated very much with what I'd been talking about in the morning as part of the kind of cultural exploration of race and immigration. We then walked around Brixton Market. We went and had ackee and saltfish patty, kind of street food from the Caribbean, in one of my favourite little market stalls down the back of Brixton Market, and all in all had a wonderful day. And these little cultural visits are basically a free extra add-on that we do as part of our summer school courses for those of you thinking of enrolling next year. So that's my video for today. Tomorrow I'm back on the Teaching Lexically course, and I'll be talking a bit more about teaching.